Hey, my name is Mike Acosta from Beatport Sounds and Sounds to Sample, here with another quick tip tutorial video. And in this particular video, I'll be covering some very creative uses of the new drummer plugin within Logic Pro 10. So the first thing that we have to do is open up, of course, a new drummer track. So go to Track, select New Drummer Track, and there we go. There's an acoustic drum kit that's been opened up. And if we hit play, okay, and it's playing a live acoustic drum kit with lots of dynamic things happening in the playing, which is great. Well, I have the machine drum here, so I am going to use drummer and simply trigger machine drum with drummer and get a lot of that dynamics happening with my drum samples inside the machine drum. So the first thing that we need to do is I am going to choose a different drummer here. So let's choose Nicky, change the drummer, and if we hit play, okay, we get more of a 4 on the floor type of drum pattern. Okay, so the first thing that I want to do is I want to go and slice this up so that I have 4 different regions. And what I'm going to do is on each region, the first one will start off with soft, a little bit of complexity. So simple, loud and complex, more complex, and a little bit soft with some mild complexity into it. So now what we're going to do, here's the trick. Instead of it playing our typical drum kit here that we see, we'll simply go and assign this to an external instrument. And we're going to choose the MIDI destination to the machine controller because that's what I'm using for a MIDI interface to connect to my machine drum. And close that. Now, if we hit play, you'll see that it's triggering the machine drum. Okay, so kick drum, clap. There's all my other sounds. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I don't want any hi-hats from the machine drum. All I want is just the kick and the snare. Okay, so now that we have this laid out, I'm going to simply copy this and we're going to move this on over onto its own MIDI track here. And remember, this drummer track was triggering the machine drum, and what I'm doing now is I have another MIDI track here and I'm simply going to route that out the same one, so it's going to trigger the machine drum. And the reason we're doing that is because, remember, we only wanted the kick and the snare. So I still need some hi-hats and some other components. So we'll come back to this track here. And what we're going to do is go back here and go back to our drum kit designer and pull up an acoustic drum kit. Okay, just keep it real simple. But now what we're going to do is down here on the bottom, I don't want any kick and snare. All I want are the hi-hats, maybe some crashes. So now let's solo this. And let's play this back. Okay, so we have the percussion, some hi-hats. Give this a little bit more swing. And get a little bit more complexity there. All right, awesome. So now, if we play this back together with our machine drum, you'll see that we have kick and snare, which are samples from the machine drum, and we have a very live, humanistic, dynamic kind of real-time playing from an acoustic drum set. And this is all being generated by Drummer. I haven't had it program one single thing myself. Now, let's, as I always do, we've got to bring in a couple of more things so that we can hear everything in context with itself. And we just have some simple sample melodies there from, of course, the Sounds to Sample library. And let's play this all back together now with the machine drum, drummer, and some simple melodic samples.